Hello and welcome to Noblesville, Indiana. My name is Gerry Dick, the host of Inside Indiana Business, president of Grow Indiana Media Ventures, and we are launching a podcast this morning and have a great group to talk about growth, opportunities, challenges in the city of Noblesville, one of the stars of Hamilton County and beyond in Indiana here, growing a diverse business community as well. Also want to take a second to welcome those joining us on Facebook Live who will be tuning in and watching the podcast this morning. Pleased to be joined for this podcast by Noblesville Mayor John Ditslear. Also, Ajay Patel is president of Verdure Sciences. Bruce King, president of Helmer Scientific. And Matt Rogers is director of sales and marketing for BlueSky Technology. And Matt, a special thank you to you for hosting us this morning at the BlueSky headquarters operation. Beautiful new building on the near west side of Noblesville. Well, I think everyone at the table represents the diverse nature of the business community here, which, Mayor, I think would be a surprise to some people. They know of the historic downtown here in Noblesville. They know of the the river and the history and the beautiful old homes in Noblesville. But there really is a diverse group of businesses here in Noblesville.
There really are. I think, as you said, we're known to be the oldest county seat in the oldest city in Hamilton County. But our amenities, as you mentioned, were parks and Morse Reservoir. Being on the river is a real asset. I'm very, very proud, obviously, of our downtown. But business is alive and well in the city of Noblesville. We have three companies here today who have been very bold, very innovative, and we're looking forward to hearing from them. But business is good. We have a corporate campus that we established in about 2003. 3,800 acres that we have been able to fill up somewhat, and we're very proud of that. And I've got, again, three outstanding worldwide businesses here to talk to.
In your view, what is key to making that happen? Every city in the country is, they're trying to get businesses like this to stay or locate in their communities. These are businesses that have intentionally chosen Noblesville not only to locate but to grow here. What, in your view, is key to that?
I would say certainly the sense of community that we have here in Noblesville, the friendliness, if you will, decent workforce and availability, although, as we know, that's challenging for all of us throughout the country. But nonetheless, I think it's a great atmosphere, great school system, and again, a lot to do. And certainly, I think that's one of the reasons. But we have a Stay Here, Grow Here project, a strategic plan. And so those who have started small, and I'm familiar with a couple very personally, they started with a couple, 3 people, maybe 10 people, and are here. So I think we're doing things right. And again, it's just a great place to live and work.
Helmer Scientific, I think, is a great example of kind of the mix of business here in Noblesville. And Bruce King, the president of the company. Bruce, thanks for being with us today. Talk a little bit about, because I think the stories, all of your stories here, the business models are unique and interesting. Talk about Helmer Scientific and what you do. Everyone here has a global footprint too, so give us a little thumbnail on Helmer.
Sure, and thank you for hosting us. I think Helmer is something of a hopefully a little known success story that's grown up here in Noblesville. We've been here for almost 30 years, and now we serve over 130 countries, and with a particular focus on domestic healthcare. So our products are primarily integrated products now that serve health systems and really safeguard and protect valuable temperature-sensitive assets like blood components, temperature-sensitive medication and biologics. But we have grown up here in Noblesville from Harriman Boulevard up through different shells, just like a hermit crab, moving east to the new business park, Saxony. And for a while on Harriman, we had grown to, I think it was 4 buildings in what's close to a residential neighborhood. And then took the lead to move out to the Saxony corporate campus, and then another building here about 6 years ago. And so, yeah, we're definitely a Noblesville success story.
A company like yours, there seem to need to be a lot of things come together for you to be successful. Distribution and logistics, supportive environment, all those kinds of things. Access to talent obviously affects everyone. Talk about your experience here in Noblesville and why you have chosen to make this home for some 4 decades.
Well, it starts with our people, and I think we've had a remarkable retention of key individuals, but we've also wanted to add new talent as we've grown. When I started with the company almost 30 years ago, I was, I think, employee number 35. Now, through just steady growth over years, we're up to about 260. But the one thing we have in common is this is a vertically integrated company, so we need to bring in professional talent. Now, high-tech software engineers of all kinds. So we find that Noblesville is a really perfect location for us because we also have a deep manufacturing component. So we found that a number of our longstanding manufacturing employees have come from the Anderson and Muncie area, and some of them have put new roots down in the Noblesville area, but some choose to stay up there. And yet we can draw talent from as far south as Indianapolis to out to Zionsville, and Noblesville's a really good location for us. So that was first and foremost. But I think also just the proximity to universities. Certainly, you mentioned logistics. Indiana in general, but especially since we're so close to the I-69 corridor, that's really important for both our supply base, but also our distribution. So, all in all, Noblesville, location is very, very important. But we've also had great support from the city through these various building projects.
Yeah. Matt Rogers, you're Director of Sales and Marketing here at BlueSky Technology, and you were mentioning before we started the podcast, and I think it's important to note the global nature of all of your businesses. Your footprints extend far beyond Noblesville and Indiana.
Yeah, absolutely. So Noblesville is our headquarters, but we also have an office up in Toronto, Canada, and a development office over in Hyderabad, India. So we've got a client base that covers North America as well as a few clients that reach beyond just the boundaries there and have that migration over in Europe. So, absolutely.
BlueSky is an e-commerce consultancy business. Give us a thumbnail description of the company. And again, you've got a beautiful location, a beautiful building here on just west of downtown Noblesville. And why you chose, because as you expanded, you could have located about anywhere, right? But you chose intentionally Noblesville.
No, absolutely. And a similar story to Bruce and Helmer. We started over in Harriman Park in 2006. And then over the period of time, kept outgrowing the building facility we were in. And then started working with the city, I would say probably in 2014, to map out where we wanted to build our headquarters location where we could get everybody under one roof. And so it's been definitely big proponents of the stay here, grow here. From why Noblesville, I think it's the community aspect. We're a service-oriented business, so our employees are number one for us in their intellectual capacity. So making sure that they have a work environment that, both from a physical standpoint here at the building, but also proximity to restaurants and World Park, right next to Federal Commons. So the food trucks on Fridays, the ice rink in the wintertime, and the concerts in the summer. So it really creates a neat work environment for our employees. So that's kind of in a nutshell why Noblesville, and the city and the officials and the business have all been very welcoming. So it's grassroots.
Great.
But a little background on BlueSky. As you mentioned, we're an e-commerce consultancy. So in simplest terms, we help people succeed with their digital commerce business. So we've got 3 business units, one of which is technology, which does a lot of the design and development of the e-commerce property. We've got a digital marketing agency that helps grow and drive traffic to that site and helps them convert shoppers into customers. And then we've got a staffing agency. So as we help some businesses transform beyond what they're doing today, they obviously need help in growing their talent pool out. That's what the staffing all does.
Very good. Ajay Patel, you're president of Verdure Sciences. Amazing company. I mean, very interesting. And that you're headquartered in Noblesville in Indiana. Again, a global footprint. But you've created breakthroughs in advancing natural plant-based therapeutic delivery forms through this global footprint. Give us the description of the company, because I think it's very interesting.
Yes, thank you very much for having me here. So Verdure Sciences is an ag biosciences company. We deal with traditional botanicals, a lot of botanicals that have been used globally for centuries, but they don't necessarily have the proven safety, efficacy, or the clinical substantiation. So as a company, what we've done over the years is we've identified unique botanicals, and we have taken them through this rigorous scientific scrutiny. We have aligned ourselves with a lot of universities worldwide. So not only in North America, but in Europe, in Australia, in India. That's where a lot of our manufacturing partners are located. So the traceability aspect of these botanicals is very important. And so we've done that over the years by aligning ourselves vertically, as Matt mentioned earlier. So that we take care of the quality aspects of these ingredients that we are marketing, because consumers anymore are very conscious, obviously, of what they're ingesting in their bodies. So as a company, we've really focused on identifying those botanicals, taking them through the scrutiny of the clinical validation, and then aligning the supply chain globally.
You would think a company like yours would be headquartered in California or someplace out of the Midwest, but not in the Midwest, in Noblesville, Indiana. What are the assets and the positives, in your view, of doing business here?
Right, absolutely. So I went to Purdue University. I graduated as a chemical engineer. Since then, I've started the business here in Indiana, and we've been in Noblesville for 15 years. And Noblesville has been great for us, all the way from being a small business to growing over the years. I've had the pleasure to have the mayor and the city at our offices a few times over the last decade, which is really great for a business like us, where they recognize a business that's growing, that's here locally, and that has potential. And that has given us a lot of drive. We just actually commissioned a new facility. That's a 20,000 square foot facility right here in Noblesville. And a lot of it is to do with the growth that's happening in Noblesville and the city of Noblesville that has given us a lot of support. They've helped us from day one to find the grounds of the new facility. Incentives to get the new facility going for a company like ours, and reaching out globally happens more easily when you have the local support of the community.
Mayor, as you look at quality of place, quality of life issues, certainly a front of mind issue for communities all over Indiana, all over the country. What kinds of things are you doing and looking at doing here in Noblesville to continue to enhance that quality of place, to help these companies grow, keep workforce, but also attract workforce here?
Well, we're doing a lot of things. We were one of the first, I think, to talk about workforce development, and that has we started that maybe 10 years ago, maybe a little ahead of others perhaps. But we were hearing, of course, it's really difficult to find employees at all levels. We were able to attract and get Ivy Tech here in Hamilton County in Noblesville, which is a tool, if you will, to get people re-educated, retrained, and even basic training. So that's one effort. We do incentivize in some cases to help people stay here, but we just do a lot of things as far as quality of life. I know Matt mentioned the movies and the food trucks and the things that we provide that gives, again, all those are free to citizens, but again, it's that sense of community that we're very proud of, and we want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to have fun and while they're working here in the city. Ajay is a great example. I mean, when we visited one of the first or second times, listened to their story and knew that they were expanding or perhaps going to expand, and so we had that in our particular file certainly, and kept them abreast of properties that were available and some of that, and able to do that, which we're proud of because that's our job, is to help companies grow and stay here. But again, it was a great example of helping amount, and that would be true of actually all three
Yeah.
of these companies.
Well, I want to give the companies here, as we wrap up, an opportunity to just briefly talk about what you see as the opportunity, the potential for your companies individually, but more broadly, the opportunities for Noblesville to continue to grow and to add more companies, those types of things.
Oh, sure. I think the changes to every industry, and ours is no exception, to embrace in many cases more connected strategies brought on by some of the technological advancements we've had. I know we've gone from being, I think, call us an incubator company, literally incubators for blood products when I started, to on through one might call us a medical refrigeration company, and now since 2010 really taking a strategy to be an integrated part of a healthcare supply chain that's more and more connected by information technology and the Internet of Things wave. And I think we've taken that on very intentionally, sort of disrupting ourselves out in advance of being disrupted. A lab refrigerator company is ripe for commoditization, but part of a connected supply chain, a connected device, is very, very different. So I think that I'm sure all three of us have really done a lot of soul searching as businesses grow. But I think continuing to sort of foster a culture that celebrates the heritage of Noblesville, but continues to bring that sort of high-tech amenities and the places where more advanced technological workforce wants to stay, and that marriage and that balance is important to keep. So.
Very good. Ajay, how about you as you look at the future here for your company, but also for the city of Noblesville and that ability to attract people and grow the economy?
Absolutely. As you mentioned earlier, it's a very unique industry that we are in, but an industry that's rapidly growing. Consumers want natural products, and so we are right smack in the middle of that space. And what we have done in terms of the innovation really has set the footprint for the future as a company. And then you talk about the new facility that we have just created, and the facility is an open concept facility, a more collaborative work style. We've got a wellness building there. Employees can come in and exercise. We've got a walking trail around. We've also got an R&D laboratory there and some warehousing. So I think from a standpoint of the culture that we would like to create and promote in the future for the employees that work there, and also for the city in terms of the talent that we can attract with the universities that are around here, the Verdure and IU, because we do need talent, especially with the unique business model that we have. It's very important that we find the right talent, and having the facilities that we have created, we really hope that will attract the talent needed to grow in this space here.
Mm-hmm. Good. Matt, I'll give you the final word. BlueSky's made a major investment here, a major commitment to the city. Beautiful new building here. What do you see as the future, not only for the company, but also the economy here in Noblesville?
No, absolutely. And I touch on what Bruce and Ajay just build on what they've represented. We're, as I said before, we're a service business, and our people are core values and strength. A lot of what we're doing is digital. So you don't need to be in Chicago, you don't need to be in New York, you don't need to be in the major metropolitan areas, and still be able to interact with some of the largest online customers we deal with, largest bike retailer in the country, largest online golf retailer. So you can work on exciting, big projects and don't need to be in those big cities, but you can still have this sort of grassroots to be able to shorten the commute and really family-oriented type activities around the building. But to echo what the other gentleman referenced, talent is key for us. So maintaining that balance between work and personal life is critical for us to retain people. So we're excited about the opportunities going forward. We were the first to get on this side of the river with the building project, and the city really making an investment on this side, and looking forward to future growth.
Well, I want to thank each and every one of you for participating in the podcast. I think you have really put forth a bit of the vibe here in Noblesville and what's happening from a business and economy standpoint. Ajay Patel is the president of Verdure Sciences, Bruce King, the president at Helmer Scientific, and Matt Rogers, the director of sales and marketing at BlueSky Technology. And again, thanks for hosting today. And of course, Noblesville Mayor John Ditslear, thank you as well. Thank you all for your leadership here in Indiana. Thanks to everyone on Facebook Live for joining us. And thank you for joining us on this podcast. My name's Gerry Dick, and we'll see you next time.